Hello everybody. I want to talk about portfolios. Portfolios is something that most of us use, but we may not use that word. If you use LinkedIn or Facebook, you often have, and the intention of those products, there's many others, but the intention of those products is to include all your information in one house, in one repository. That's a portfolio. We use a portfolio specifically when we talk about searching for a job. And the best examples that I use for portfolios is like a drawer or an accordion file. And we file everything away into that portfolio. The true hope of a portfolio is that it forces you to gather all the information that you may need when you're searching for a job, when you're applying for a job, when you're interviewing for a job, to house all that information in one place so that when you are asked for information in the middle of the process, it's quite easy for you to gather that information and bring it to the forefront. And so what some people may do is apply for a job and not spend time gathering that information. And then when they go for an interview and they're asked for additional information or different examples of their work or their history, they may not have it and they scramble to find that information. A portfolio lists all the information that you may need for your interview or for the job prospects that you're looking for, and then you have all that information at the ready. There are certain aspects of a portfolio that are more important than others. In other words, certain pieces of the puzzle that you may want to include in that drawer or the accordion file. And so you want to concentrate on these aspects more than others. Doesn't mean that others aren't as important, but these may be the most important. First is the resume and a cover letter. This is intuitive. Most everybody needs a resume and cover letter whenever they're looking for a job. Couple hints. Remember, your resume and a cover letter is your opportunity to sell yourself to a prospective or potential employee. That means that you need to put everything in a resume and cover letter that will help you get an interview. And what is most important in any resume or cover letter is that it answers the question why you should apply, why you should be hired, and third, probably the most important, is when you take a job application or a job announcement, your resume and cover letter should be exactly the same, as close as possible to that application or announcement. And so it should have the same words and phrases on both pieces of information, so that when somebody who is looking to interview for a job, when they're looking for somebody to interview, they should look at your resume and cover letter and say, that's the person I want because they most closely match what I'm looking for. Of course, the caveat is always be truthful. If it doesn't match, don't put it in your resume or cover letter. About 30% of resumes or cover letters are inflated, which means that they're less truthful. May not be an outright lie, but certainly less truthful. You certainly don't want to be that type of person. Because if you submit documents that aren't completely true, then you may get the job and then they may find out that you're not the person that they wanted. So you always want to be truthful. So the resume and cover letter are the most important. The second is to detail in your portfolio, to have at your ready, what you learned. And this means what you've learned in your life. You want to be able to have a portfolio that showcases what you've learned. This is not only the courses that you've taken in college or the trainings that you've completed when you're in the workplace, but also what you learned in those courses. That's the extra step that most people don't do. You want to say, yes, I've taken these courses and this is what I've learned. Yes, I've taken these trainings and this is what it's provided me. So you want to go that extra bridge. You want to take that bridge as to this is what the course I've taken and this is what I've learned in that course. Most people don't do that second aspect. And in the portfolio, I would make statements or include information so that when you go to an interview, you can detail exactly what you learned. Lastly, what you did. And this is different than what you learned, but what you did is examples of the projects or tasks that you completed. You want to be able in your portfolio to have several examples of exactly what you accomplished. As you know, in resumes, and I have some videos on resumes, in resumes we talk quite a bit about it's not your duties that are important in a resume, it's your accomplishments. It's not that you managed 5 people, it's how you managed 5 people. It's not that you were the sales manager, it's that you increased sales 50-75%. Here, it's the same thing, is that you want to talk about what you did. You want to have physical examples of your accomplishments, whether it's reports that you've produced, whether it's sales data that attests to the sales that you've had, even in comparison to other people. You certainly want block out or cross out the names of other people, but you want to have concrete examples of your accomplishments. Those, everybody, are the 3 most important aspects of a portfolio. I certainly wish you the best as you interview and hopefully become accepted in the job that is your future. More than anything else, remember that if you don't get this job, you'll get another job. And if you don't get that job, it's not the job for you. Your job, if you work hard enough, and if you have enough perseverance, your job will appear in the very near future. Never lose hope, and you'll have a great future. Everybody, enjoy the day.